The wisest people in the world, especially entrepreneurs, business owners, they're not out trying to do everything by themselves. Because when you want to do something excellent, think about this. Anything that you need to do excellent, it takes what? It takes time, usually takes money, it takes resources, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice, it takes relationships. It takes a lot to be successful at anything. You choose it, you show me any successful person in any industry, I'll share with you a successful person that put in a lot of those things I just mentioned in behind the scenes. Malcolm Gladwell said that it takes 10,000 hours for somebody to become skillful at something. Minimum. I mean, that's just the entryway to say, okay, you're skillful in this, and you can get skillful results. What's important about skillful results is that for the same amount of time and effort you put into something, you get a bigger result. So look, you could be running ads and I could be running paid advertising. Well, although we're both running ads on Facebook and we're both spending the same amount of money on Facebook, that doesn't mean that we're going to get the same results. Does that make sense? Is that we could be doing the same thing, but I'll get more results for the same thing that you're putting in. Because why? Because I got the skill set. I put in the hours, I put in the work, I put in the sacrifice. We've helped and we've gotten hundreds of people results. We've spent tens of thousands of dollars. We've been able to get an ROI of multiple six figures from running ads. You feel what I'm saying? So there's more of a track record. The reason I mention that is because a lot of times we get caught up because of all the information out here. We get caught up of trying to do everything ourselves. And what that's doing when you say, okay, I want to do everything myself, that means that you have to be willing to put in the 10,000 hours. That means that you have to take the years, the decade to put in. That means that there's a lot of your own money that you got to put into learning and masterminds and mistakes. And, oh, you know what? I spent money on this software, but I should have used this software. Oh, you know what? I spent X amount of money on these ads, but I was targeting the wrong audience. I was saying the wrong thing. You know how much I've spent? I've had to have the hard lesson of spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, well, losing thousands of dollars on ads because of what I was saying in the ad wasn't converting. I did a post recently where I talked about I spent I was targeting people who were broke. I didn't even know. I thought I was just like, oh, so this is the ad. I said the ad said, are you, and this is when I really first transitioned and I started talking to business owners, and then I was transitioning into this online, talking to coaches and thought leaders and speakers, right? And I said, this one might have been for business owners. And I said, are you broke, busted, and disgusted? I said, do you not have two pennies to rub to your name? Is there too much month at the end of the money? And look, and I'm using all of these phrases that sound cool. But when I ran these ads and I started getting these leads, guess who I attracted? I attracted people who were broke, busted, and disgusted, didn't have two pennies to their name, living check to check, a lot of people on welfare. And what I realized is that I can be doing something even if I'm doing the right activity, but if I'm not optimizing it because I don't know how to get the right result, whether it's technically or whether because I don't have the patience to do it or the time to do it, so you might not even be running paid ads right now, or maybe you are, but it's not getting you the results or the type of leads that you want, or you're spending too much money, right? I'm getting ready to bring on a company right now who is, from when I looked at their results, so they showed me all of the data, all of the metrics from the current agency they're using. I'm like, oh my God, you're spending that amount of money on ads right now, and this is the result that you're getting for that. I'm like, oh my God. I say, give me a third of that budget. I say, give me a third of it, and I'll outperform. Let me show you. I'll outperform what you're currently doing, what you're currently spending right now with a third of the budget. So that's one of the things we're doing right now, right, for the company. But I mentioned that because you have to get out of your own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already spent a lot of times, if you're watching me and you watching this part of the video, you've already invested more than you think. You probably already invested hundreds, or thousands of dollars already in training and courses and coaches and mentorship. You've probably already invested dozens and dozens and dozens of hours, depending on how long you've been doing this, hundreds of hours already just learning this space. But you're learning it, but there's a point in time where if you want to get fast results, that you got to hire it. You can hire it. But however, I am a big supporter of knowing the strategy. So I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm saying do it. You actually having to do it is not necessary, especially if you want to get results faster, right? If let's just use the hour rule, right? There's many other investments that you need to make in order to be great at this skill. But let's just say 10,000 hours, because that's what Michael Gladwell said, right? The author. Let's just say if it's 10,000 hours. Now, I don't know what your schedule looks like. And I don't know how much hours you're using and putting into learning paid advertisement, right? But let's just say within your busy schedule, you're able to learn, let's just say, I don't know, 2 hours a week. That's fair, right? Let's just say, and this is if you got serious today to like master this skill. Let's say if you took 2 hours a day, 2 hours, sorry, not 2 hours a day. Most people don't have 2 hours a day to work on their business. I'm tripping. Let's just say 2 hours a week, right? So let's say you took 2 hours a week just to learn marketing and advertising, right? So paid advertising specifically. Now, I know for a fact most people are not spending that amount of time, but let's just say you were. Let's look how long it would take you to get those 10,000 hours, right? So I'm gonna do some math real quick. So 10,000 hours times 2 hours a week. So that's about what? 100 hours a year, 52 weeks in a year. Let's say 100 hours a year, right? So if to learn 10,000 at 100, 10,000 hours, right? So if you're doing 100 hours a year, to, this is crazy. Hold on, I got to make sure the math is right. 100 times 100 is 10,000, right? So if you did it at the rate at 2 hours a year, 2 hours a day, 2 hours a week, that would be 100 hours a year. 100 hours per year, it'll literally take you 100 years to master this. Crazy, right? If all you did was just spend it 2 hours a week, right? Now, most serious people, they usually spend like I spent probably about anywhere upwards of 5 to 10 hours a day learning this, right? But let's just say, but that's just hours per year. You know what I'm saying? But most people to master anything, I'm not even going to do the math on this, but I can tell you from my experience, most people it takes about a decade to master. To master like any skill that you're working on every single day, it usually takes about 10 years to master it. They even say that what millionaires, they say it usually takes them about 10 years of focusing on one single business every single day to hit seven figures, like a decade. Right. So let's just use a decade. Let's just say you was trying to learn paid ads every day. Let's just say and I've been in this over a decade already. But let's just say you're willing to commit the next 10 years. Are you really willing to wait the next 10 years to really start learning this consistently? Just to get consistent results, it'll probably take you 2 to 3 years. But what I'm saying is this, is that you can learn while you're earning. And if you're willing to make a little bit of an investment to get the help, then do that. And I'm telling you that this will work like a charm. And this worked for me, but I took a little bit long to get started. But most of our clients who start with us, they're seeing leads their first week. I got Joy, who got a 10x ROI her very first week. She went literally from zero, well, not zero, because she was getting leads, but these were like bad leads that she couldn't like convert or use. Like these were like bad leads. So I'm gonna say quality leads. She went from she started from zero. She didn't have, she stopped for a little while because her ads wasn't working, and then she got a 10x ROI. She put in 200 her first week and made 2K first 7 days. I got one of our other guys, one of our other members, Glassstein. He got 76 leads in his first 6 days. 76 leads in 6 days. Most people aren't getting that amount of people that are interested in their product or service organically. You're probably not getting that organically right now, unless you have some other system that's working consistently. But even if you did have another consistent that was getting you leads consistently, why not add this strategy on top that we know works? You feel what I'm saying? But most people are not getting those type of leads consistently, right? Because guess what? Even if you got, let's just say you got 20 leads your first week. Well, that ain't bad. You can't get one person to say yes to your product. I mean, if you have something that's that good and you truly feel in your heart like what I have can truly transform the world, can truly help the world, my service is really going to make somebody's life easier, better. They can do things faster, whatever. If you truly feel like that, then if you expose 10 people to that or 20 people to that, you don't think one person to see the value and say yes? I think if you're coming from a genuine place and you coming from a place of confidence, I don't see any reason why, even if I didn't even teach you the sales, because usually in our program, or when we run your ads, I'm also coaching. But even if I didn't teach you sales, I don't see why you couldn't get one out of every 20 people that came into your community to invest in whatever service you have. But that won't happen if you never get to that, because you can't consistently generate leads because you haven't mastered the skill of paid advertising yet. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why you want to be able to do that, because a lot of those results that we've got, and I can tell you 20 more testimonies just like that. The reason why these folks are getting results is because they're not doing it. We're doing it. We're bringing the leads to them automatically and consistently. All they need to do, we're lining them up, and all you need to do is just contact and have the conversation with the person who's already interested in what you have. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm gonna leave you with today is just you don't have to do everything yourself. And actually, I would recommend that you use the money that you're getting from your job as the funder. Everybody's looking for funding, right? You have a job already that's funding you. The problem is you're using those funds for something else. You're not using those funds to put back into your business. You're not using those funds to make you more money. You're using those funds for other things. It's hot out, it's summertime, is this. I want to go out on vacation. I'm doing this. I want to go out to eat. I want to this seafood restaurants and all. We're using it for everything else instead of using it to fund our dream. Use the funds from your job to fund your dream. And what's the dream? Well, I help a lot of people that are in a coaching, speaking space, right? You don't have to be that, but I help a lot of people in that space. Well, isn't the dream to transform lives? Is it the dream to get in front of more people, to help more people? Isn't that the dream? Is it the dream to be able to do this full time one day? Maybe you like to travel. Maybe you just want to be around your family or your kids more. Maybe you want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. Isn't that the dream? Well, why don't you do the things that's in line with the dream? And any smart CEO, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, I don't care who you're talking about, Oprah, they put the smartest people in place, people that's smarter than them in position to get results that they couldn't get themselves. That's what you want. That's what we all want. That's what I want. That's what we all want. We want to put people in place who can get better results. Because if I can get better results than you in the area, then what I need you for? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can do this better than you, so you want to bring people in that's better than you who can get results consistently, be willing to pay them for it so they can get you the results. But the smart people, they do that quickly so they can get results quickly, because nothing is guaranteed to stay the same. You got AI, you got virtual reality, you got things that you cannot expect that when you're ready, the world is going to be exactly the same as it is today. It's not. You say, oh, I'll be ready in 6 months. I'll be ready in a year. I'll be ready. The world is not going to be the same. And I can tell you this, that the more people the more time that goes by, the more people are producing content. The more people that produce content online and on social media, the harder it is going to be for you to get seen, because the algorithm is going to need to filter out more information from people. So only the cream is going to rise to the top. And if you're brand new and you don't already have an organic following, or you're not already, you're not, it's going to be very hard for you to do that organically, to get exposure organically. So that's why you need to lean on paid advertisements, because that's what's going to get you the exposure to the billions of people that are on these social media platforms. Does this make sense? All right. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you. With that being said, if you know anybody who needs to like adopt this mindset, share this out. We're streaming right now, all major platforms. Share this out with them and let them get let this marinate in their mind so they can go out and they can get results and start getting people who are interested in what they have. And I'm not telling you not to learn. I'm the biggest learner you're gonna find in every personality test that I take. Learner is my number one. Learner is my number one. But the thing is, you can't let learning hurt you from moving forward. A lot of times when you're a learner, you just want to learn, and say, I'm gonna do everything myself because I'm learning this stuff and I'm just gonna learn it and do everything myself. And you don't realize that there's smarter, easier, and or faster ways to do it. And then you get frustrated. Why does it take you so long to win? Why you can't get the results? Well, it's because you're just not good at it yet. You haven't put in enough hours yet. You haven't put in enough money to learn it yet. It's with anything else in life. You don't get mad that as soon as your kid is born, they can't talk. It takes years. It takes years and years to develop, learn how to talk with full sentences. My son is about to be 3. He still can't speak complete sentences yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it takes years for this stuff to learn and grow, just like life. But to get results quickly in the state of where the world is at now, it doesn't really take that much money to do. But you got it. But you can't be afraid to take that step. All right. So with that being said, continue to be great. Share this out with somebody who needs it, and remember, slow motion is better than no motion. So let's get to work.